Hello there, it's me, Sari here again, and today I'm here to show a 3D box to you that some people also called 3D box cards, and that is because you can actually fold it together, put it in an envelope and send it to the recipient, of course. In this case I have made it with lots of stamps from Vilda Stamps. I have seen people making this with just a couple of decorations in the center and the rest of the box decorated with some pattern papers. Of course you could do that, but I just was in a Vilda Stamps mood and I wanted to try their stamps out on this box. Now, let me talk to you a little bit about this. Most people use an A4 sized paper, and I think the reason for that is that if you are going to do the scoring at 7 centimeters, and that is 2 3/4 of an inch, then you can actually get out the complete box and also have the flap to fasten the box with. So let's say if you have a centimeter scoreboard, you could just do it on 7, 14, 21 and 28. And then you're just going to flip your paper over and score it once more at 7. And then you're going to cut it off at 15. And the rest of it you can just keep because you're going to need it for later. So having done, after you have scored the paper, you can cut it down to that other folded or scored line there. And you can also cut away this piece. I actually decided on making a slit or a diagonal cut there so it wouldn't show too much when I have it closed like this. So I usually do make these angle cuts like so. And then you can just fold these flaps down just so you see that this is the box. And the meaning of the box is, as I can see, that the flaps are a bit shorter than the bottom piece. Of course you could make it longer yourself, but just bear in mind that having scored it at, let's say, 7 centimeters, you could actually cut it at perhaps 17. Then you would have 2 more centimeters to go with. So I'm sure you could play around with the measurements however you want to. Then after you have fastened this one down, you need to figure out how wide is the opening, and of course in this case it is going to be 7 centimeters. And in order to make this sort of a hinge looking thing, you need to make it firstly 7 in the center, but you need to leave room for these flaps, and then you need to score them and make them into a Z, so to speak. So you have them going in the opposite directions, and so it will actually fold when you are pushing the card together like this, or the box together like this. In this case I have made this one a little bit bigger because I had these big stamps from Vilda in mind. This is a beautiful car collage stamp, and I let that one be my guide, and I made this into a 9×9 box when it comes to the panels here. And I actually made it longer, as you can see. So I have, this one is 12 centimeters, whilst this one is 9. So I have made it a little bit bigger. And as you can see, this one folds up really nicely like so, in that direction, but not as well in this direction, because I have put these decorative pieces here that actually hinders it from folding together. So there is something going on. So just have to figure out in which way you want the card to fold. It doesn't really matter because the recipient is going to keep it up like this anyway, I think. Well, let's see. What else do you need to do? Well, when you have this wee bit, you're just going to put it in the center of the box when you have closed it down like so. And just put some adhesive on both sides and just press it down there and just give it a good squeeze, holding it from the inside and the outside so it will actually just stuck to each other there. And let's see, what kinds of stamps have I used? Well, I'm showing you this box today because this is the day that the camera set is having its premiere in the Vilda shop. It has got these beautiful camera stamps, this one as well as that one, and it has got this text that I have intentionally cut off and put the rest there. And it also has some film rolls, and it could be another stamp, I'm not sure. And I just wanted to make this box into a sort of a travel themed with a steampunky touch, and yeah, travels, journeys, and just thoughts about life in the stamp rails, stamp way, in the stamped way, I should say. So, as I told you before, I've got a beautiful car collage stamp in the background. I've got a clock here. I think that one comes from a steampunk kit or something similar, perhaps a feminine kit. There's an old suitcase bag there, film rolls, and a postcard. Every day is a gift, and I want to remind myself of that. And life is like a camera. Just focus on what's important. Ta-da! Capture the good times and develop from the negatives, and if things don't work out, just take another shot. And here I have used a cogwheel corner stamp. Here are two other corner stamps, and one of the stamps that I have designed for Vilda, actually. Always believe that something wonderful is about to happen. And if I flip this over, I've got the beautiful Victorian couple there with the beautiful butterflies and everything, and may all your wrinkles come from happy smiles. And here is another one: in order to be irreplaceable, one must always dare to be different. And if I flip it over like this, you can see that it be the best version of you. That's one of my stamps also. And here's a beautiful clock, cogwheel, steampunky clock with some wings, and Love is in the Air collage with a steamship and everything there. Steam airship perhaps. And here is the back piece. I forgot to tell you about that one, actually. When you have assembled this one, you can start measuring how big is the back piece going to be, and just do a bit of stamping, or use your decorative paper or something and just glue it there, because this one actually will give it its sturdiness. It will stand on its own easier with that one there. So I went wild with some mixed media stamps from Vilda Stamps, and I also used a postcard which says handmade by, and I wrote my name there. And here I got two more sides to show you. I've got another beautiful steampunky themed cycling couple there with beautiful butterfly wings and everything. And life is a journey, and if I twist it or turn it over like this, it's a beautiful butterfly corner stamp there, and dare to dream big, and that is also one of my stamps. So a 3D box card, or 3D box, I like it. And especially when you can fold it up together like this. So I used white paper to stamp on, and after that I just inked everything up with some vintage photo distress ink. And to highlight the edges, I just dragged some black ink around them. And I intentionally made them look a little bit coarse and rough around the edges, because I do want that shabby look, so to speak. And one thing I need to remind you of, since I've got this postcard here, I cannot close it in that way. So I really need to find a way to close it, and this way is the best, of course. So I hope you're inspired to make your own 3D box. And I'm going to sign off right now. Bye bye.